Imagine this right now, deep within the hidden chambers of your psyche. Someone very special in your life may be carrying emotions they have never fully expressed. Beneath the surface, beyond ordinary conversations and familiar interactions, there may exist feelings that are far deeper than simple friendship or casual affection. This is not just a passing attraction. It represents a powerful movement within the unconscious mind, a hidden emotional force that tries to bring attention to something meaningful. In Jungian psychology, the unconscious is not an empty place where forgotten thoughts disappear. It is a vast inner world filled with memories, emotions, desires, instincts, and symbols that influence our lives in ways we do not always understand. Sometimes the deepest feelings are the ones we struggle to admit. The conscious mind often tries to maintain control. It follows logic, social expectations, personal fears, and the image we have created of ourselves. Because of this, the ego may hide emotions that feel too intense, too complicated, or too disruptive to accept. A person may tell themselves that what they feel is only friendship. They may convince themselves that the connection means nothing more. They may avoid certain thoughts because acknowledging them would require facing vulnerability, uncertainty, and the possibility of change. But the unconscious mind does not work according to the same rules as the ego. It does not simply erase emotions because they are inconvenient. Instead, it stores them beneath awareness, allowing them to appear through dreams, sudden memories, strong emotional reactions, and unexplained feelings that arise when a particular person enters your life. This is why someone can feel strangely drawn toward another person without fully understanding why. A simple conversation may feel unusually meaningful. A brief moment of eye contact may create a feeling that is difficult to explain. Their presence may bring comfort, excitement, nervousness, or a sense that something important exists beneath the surface. The ego may try to dismiss these experiences. It may say that it is nothing special, that it is only imagination, or that these feelings are too unrealistic to trust. But the unconscious continues to send signals because it carries emotional truths that the conscious mind may not yet be ready to face. When feelings remain hidden for too long, they often create an invisible inner tension. A person may feel restless without knowing why. They may think about someone repeatedly even when they try not to. They may feel a quiet longing that remains present despite attempts to ignore it. This creates a private emotional world where feelings continue growing in silence. The desire for deeper connection, understanding, and emotional closeness can exist beneath everyday behavior. The outside world may see a normal relationship, but internally, the psyche may be experiencing something much more intense. The natural movement of the psyche is always toward wholeness. The unconscious constantly tries to bring hidden parts of ourselves into awareness. This is why strong emotional connections often become mirrors. They reveal parts of ourselves that we have not fully recognized. Sometimes what feels like another person's hidden feelings may also reflect emotions within ourselves that we have not accepted. The person becomes a symbol, a reflection of something deeper that the soul is searching for. This does not mean the connection is meaningless. Instead, it suggests that powerful relationships often contain multiple layers. There is the person standing in front of us, and there is also the meaning our unconscious mind attaches to them. Paying attention to subtle experiences can help reveal these hidden layers. Repeated thoughts about someone, unusual emotional reactions, feelings of warmth or nervousness around them, or moments that feel strangely meaningful can become clues. The goal is not to immediately judge these experiences or force them into a specific meaning. The goal is to observe them with awareness. By becoming more conscious of these inner movements, we begin to understand ourselves more deeply. Jungian psychology teaches that the parts of ourselves we ignore often continue influencing our choices from the shadows. When we become willing to explore these hidden emotions, we create the possibility of deeper self-understanding and more authentic relationships. The archetypes of the anima and animus in Jungian psychology explain another powerful aspect of attraction and emotional connection. These concepts describe the hidden inner qualities that exist within every person and influence the way we relate to others. The anima represents the unconscious feminine qualities within a man's psyche, while the animus represents the unconscious masculine qualities within a woman's psyche. These are not literal descriptions of gender. They are symbolic representations of inner characteristics that every individual carries. The anima may represent qualities such as intuition, emotional depth, creativity, sensitivity, and the ability to connect with feelings. The animus may represent qualities such as strength, logic, determination, confidence, and the ability to take action. When these inner aspects remain unconscious, they can become projected onto another person. This means we may see someone as carrying qualities that our own psyche is seeking to develop or understand. This is why certain people can feel incredibly special. They seem to represent something we have been searching for our entire lives. Their presence creates a powerful emotional reaction because, on a deeper level, they connect with parts of ourselves that are waiting to be discovered. The person becomes more than just another individual. They become a symbol of something meaningful within our own psychological journey. This projection can create a powerful sense of attraction. The connection may feel magnetic, almost impossible to explain through ordinary reasoning. It can feel as though the person carries something rare, something that completes a missing part of ourselves. The unconscious mind often uses relationships as a pathway toward growth. Through another person, we are sometimes confronted with the qualities, emotions, and desires that we have neglected within ourselves. What feels like an intense desire for someone else may also represent the soul's desire to become more complete. Until we become aware of these inner projections, we may believe that the other person alone holds the key to our happiness. We may place all meaning, hope, and longing onto them without realizing that some of what we seek is already waiting inside us. Through reflection, dreams, creativity, and honest self-examination, we begin to recognize these hidden parts. We stop seeing the other person only as a source of fulfillment and begin understanding them as a mirror that reveals our own inner world. This is why some connections feel almost mythical. They seem larger than ordinary relationships because they touch something deeper within the psyche. They become part of the soul's journey toward balance, understanding, and inner unity. Comment archetype if you have ever felt an unexplainable connection with someone special. Acknowledging these hidden emotional currents requires a person to accept the deepest parts of their own vulnerability. It means facing the fear of rejection, the fear of change, and the uncertainty that comes when a familiar connection begins to reveal a much deeper possibility. A comfortable relationship can feel safe, but when powerful emotions remain unspoken, the unconscious begins to create tension that cannot easily be ignored. To truly understand these feelings, one must slowly withdraw the projections placed onto another person. What was once admired, desired, or felt missing in someone else must eventually be recognized as a reflection of something waiting to be discovered within the self. The qualities that create such a powerful attraction often represent hidden parts of one's own personality, emotions, dreams, or potential that have not yet been fully accepted. Through practices such as active imagination, personal reflection, journaling, or honest inner dialogue, the process of individuation begins to transform hidden desires from unconscious forces into conscious understanding. Feelings that once existed as confusing emotions or silent tension begin to reveal their deeper meaning. Instead of becoming trapped in fantasy, expectation, or endless uncertainty, these emotions become a doorway toward greater awareness and authentic connection. The special person in your life becomes more than simply someone you are attracted to. They become a mirror that reflects the parts of yourself that are seeking recognition. Their presence awakens questions, emotions, and desires that may have remained hidden for a long time. They act as a catalyst, encouraging you to confront what your own soul has been quietly asking you to understand. By embracing this inner journey, you move away from simply waiting for another person to complete you. Instead, you begin actively participating in your own growth. You discover that the intensity of your feelings is not only about the other person, it is also about the transformation happening within yourself. The unconscious responds to this honesty with greater clarity. The inner conflict begins to soften. Confusion slowly turns into awareness. The emotional energy that once felt overwhelming becomes a source of wisdom and direction. Through this process, there emerges the possibility of a deeper connection, one built not only on attraction but on mutual recognition, emotional honesty, and a shared movement towards something more meaningful. Deep feelings from someone special often appear through symbolic dreams, intuitive sensations, and unexplained emotional tension during everyday interactions. These experiences can become the unconscious mind's way of bringing attention to emotions that the conscious mind has not yet fully accepted or understood. From a Jungian perspective, dreams are often seen as messages from the deeper layers of the psyche. They communicate through symbols, images, and emotional experiences rather than direct explanations. When a particular person repeatedly appears in dreams with strong emotions attached, the meaning is often connected to the inner world of the dreamer and the psychological significance that person represents. These dreams may involve moments of closeness, meaningful conversations, emotional reunions, shared journeys, or powerful feelings of connection. They are not always literal predictions or simple reflections of daily thoughts. Instead, they often contain symbolic messages that reveal deeper emotional patterns and unconscious desires. A dream involving water may represent emotional depth and the hidden movement of feelings beneath the surface. A bridge may symbolize the desire to overcome distance and create a stronger connection. A repeated image, location, or situation may represent something within the psyche that continues asking to be recognized. When waking from such dreams, a person may carry a strong feeling that the experience meant something important. The emotions may remain throughout the day, creating a quiet awareness that something deeper exists beneath ordinary interactions. This lingering emotional impact can point toward feelings, desires, or possibilities that have not yet been openly acknowledged. Share this with someone who needs to understand that hidden emotions can exist beneath ordinary moments. Intuitive pulls often appear as sudden feelings that are difficult to explain logically. They may come as an unexpected urge to reach out to someone, a powerful sense of connection when thinking about them, or a quiet inner feeling that something meaningful exists between two people. These experiences often appear during peaceful moments when the mind becomes less distracted. They may arise during meditation, reflection, daily routines, or moments of silence when deeper emotions have space to surface. They seem to bypass ordinary reasoning and emerge from a place within that recognizes emotional significance. This type of inner knowing can feel magnetic. It can repeatedly draw attention toward the same person, almost as if an internal compass is directing awareness towards something that has not yet been explored. The feeling is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it appears as a gentle but persistent awareness that there is more beneath the surface. Unexplained tension in everyday interactions can also reveal hidden emotional currents. Conversations may feel unusually meaningful even when the words themselves seem ordinary. Silence between two people may carry a strange sense of importance. Small gestures, brief touches, or moments of eye contact may create emotional reactions that feel stronger than expected. You may notice subtle changes in the way this person interacts with you. Their voice may become softer when speaking with you. Their attention may linger longer than usual. They may appear nervous, excited, or emotionally affected in ways they do not openly explain. Sometimes their energy mirrors your own, creating an atmosphere where both people sense something but neither fully expresses it. These moments occur because the unconscious does not remain silent when powerful emotions exist beneath awareness. It continues sending signals through feelings, symbols, reactions, and patterns that encourage deeper understanding. These signs are not simply meant to create confusion. They are invitations to become more aware of the emotional reality that exists within and between two people. They encourage a person to look beyond surface appearances and explore the deeper psychological meaning behind the connection. The psyche constantly seeks wholeness. What feels like someone secretly wanting more from a relationship may represent a deeper movement toward authenticity, emotional integration, and meaningful connection. In Jungian psychology, one of the deepest drives of human existence is the movement toward wholeness. This process is known as individuation, where the different parts of the personality become integrated into a more complete and balanced self. This journey does not happen only within isolation. Human beings are naturally shaped through relationships. Encounters with others often reveal hidden aspects of ourselves that would remain unknown without connection. Another person can awaken qualities, emotions, and possibilities that encourage personal growth. The unconscious recognizes that meaningful relationships can become powerful pathways towards self-discovery. A person may be drawn towards someone who carries qualities they admire, desire, or unconsciously need to develop within themselves. When someone very special carries deep feelings but keeps them hidden, the experience may reflect a larger psychological movement. The desire for more is not always only about romance or physical attraction. At a deeper level, it may represent the soul's desire for connection, recognition, and emotional completion. The unconscious begins to recognize that something important remains incomplete. This creates a quiet but powerful inner pressure, a feeling that something meaningful is waiting to be acknowledged. It may appear as a magnetic attraction, a deep emotional pull, or the sense that every interaction with this person carries a significance that goes beyond ordinary connection. The special person becomes a symbol of something that the soul is searching for. Their presence reflects hidden desires, unexplored emotions, and parts of yourself that are asking to be brought into awareness. Their feelings, whether spoken or unspoken, become a mirror that reveals your own need for growth, acceptance, and deeper emotional expression. This search for authentic connection goes far beyond simple attachment. It requires openness, vulnerability, and the courage to allow two people to truly see each other. It asks both individuals to move beyond masks, defenses, and fears so that a more honest emotional meeting can take place. The unconscious creates these powerful experiences because remaining disconnected from important parts of ourselves can lead to emotional stagnation. A meaningful relationship has the potential to awaken growth, healing, and transformation. What appears as secret longing may actually be a deeper psychological force, encouraging both people to become more complete versions of themselves. When this hidden desire is recognized with awareness, confusion begins to transform into understanding. Instead of being controlled by fear, denial, or unrealistic expectations, a person can consciously participate in their own emotional journey. The relationship becomes a place where both individuals can grow, learn, and discover a deeper level of connection. Type wholeness if you are ready to stop projecting and start integrating these hidden feelings. True transformation begins when we learn to listen to the quiet messages within ourselves. The unconscious communicates through dreams, emotional reactions, meaningful coincidences, intuitive feelings, and the subtle tension that exists around someone very special. Many people resist these messages because they feel uncomfortable. They fear being vulnerable. They fear rejection. They fear changing a relationship that currently feels safe. They fear discovering that their emotions are stronger and deeper than they expected. This resistance can keep the psyche trapped in confusion. A person may continue experiencing powerful feelings while refusing to understand what those feelings are trying to reveal. They may remain caught between desire and fear, between wanting closeness and avoiding the possibility of change. However, when someone develops the courage to observe these emotions without immediately judging or rejecting them, a powerful inner transformation begins. The signs that once created uncertainty start becoming sources of wisdom. The recurring dreams involving this person begin to feel less like random experiences and more like reflections of deeper emotional needs. The strong feeling of connection begins to reveal itself as an opportunity for greater self-awareness. The desire for something more no longer feels like a threat. Instead, it becomes an invitation to live with greater honesty and emotional courage. Through reflection, journaling, active imagination, and sincere communication, a person begins creating a conscious relationship with the unconscious. Instead of ignoring hidden emotions, they learn to understand them. This process allows suppressed feelings to come into awareness in a healthy way. What was once an unconscious longing becomes a conscious choice. What was once an overwhelming emotional force becomes something that can be understood and approached with maturity. The special person no longer exists only as a projection of dreams and desires. They become a real human being, someone who can be seen clearly, respected deeply, and connected with authentically. This is where true transformation occurs. The psyche begins moving toward wholeness. Inner struggles begin to soften, emotional clarity begins to emerge. Relationships that once felt confusing or mysterious can develop into connections based on honesty, understanding, and mutual growth. The unconscious no longer needs to create tension in order to be heard. Its wisdom becomes integrated into conscious awareness, guiding both individuals toward emotional depth, genuine intimacy, and meaningful fulfillment. This is the moment when hidden longings can transform into lived experiences. Ordinary connections can become profound relationships. Silent emotions can become honest conversations. Unspoken desires can become opportunities for two people to meet each other with openness and awareness. In the end, the hidden emotional currents between you and someone very special are not simply random feelings that appear without meaning. They represent a deeper movement within the psyche, filled with symbolism, unconscious patterns, and the timeless human desire for connection and wholeness. Through symbolic dreams, intuitive feelings, meaningful moments, and the quiet emotional energy that exists between two people, the psyche reveals important truths about what the heart and mind are experiencing. Individuation calls you to become aware. It asks you to recognize your projections, understand the hidden parts of yourself, and face the emotional shadows that have remained unexplored. It asks you to listen carefully without fear. It asks you to allow the unconscious to guide you beyond shallow connections and toward relationships built on authenticity, understanding, and emotional presence. What feels mysterious and unspoken may actually be an invitation toward greater awareness, deeper integration, and transformative love. The journey toward wholeness does not ask you to remain trapped in silence, confusion, or endless longing. It asks you to awaken. It asks you to recognize the special person in your life not only as someone you desire, but also as someone who reflects your own path toward becoming more complete. When hidden feelings are approached with honesty and openness, relationships can evolve into something deeply meaningful. Hidden affection can become conscious connection. Secret wishes can become shared understanding. Emotional uncertainty can become a foundation for growth. Trust the wisdom of your own psyche. The unconscious has already been communicating through emotions, symbols, and experiences. The only question that remains is whether you are willing to listen. Step forward with courage. Allow yourself to meet this deeper truth with awareness. The connection you both may secretly desire does not exist only in imagination. It exists in the possibility of two people consciously choosing to understand, respect, and meet each other at a deeper emotional level. The greatest bonds are not created through fantasy alone. They are created when two individuals have the courage to face themselves, embrace honesty, and allow genuine connection to unfold. The hidden feelings were never simply about wanting more from another person. They were also about discovering more within yourself. And when the inner world and outer relationship come into harmony, the journey toward wholeness begins. Like this video.